In a bustling city where every day brings its own challenges, an ordinary traffic stop quickly transformed into a powerful stand for justice. The story begins when Chief Amelia Parker, renowned for her unwavering commitment to equality and reform, witnessed a troubling scene unfolding on the street. Officer Marcus Reed, known for his outdated beliefs and misuse of authority, was handling a routine situation with an air of arrogance that masked a deeper prejudice. As a confrontation heated up in front of onlookers, what happened next would shatter long-held assumptions about power and accountability. Chief Parker didn't hesitate. With calm authority and a deep sense of duty, she stepped in when Officer Reed's actions crossed a line. His attempt to belittle and intimidate ended in a shocking act that revealed how dangerous unchecked behavior can be, especially when it comes from those sworn to protect. In that pivotal moment, the true meaning of leadership was redefined. No one, no matter their badge or position, is above the law. Welcome to Acts of Kindness Stories, where we dive into moments of courage and the relentless pursuit of justice. This isn't just a story about a single incident. It's a call to challenge the status quo and remind us all that true progress begins when we hold each other accountable. Stay with us as we explore how one brave decision can spark a movement for real, lasting change. Chief Amelia Parker had just finished a long day of meetings at headquarters when she stepped outside into the lively pulse of downtown. The air buzzed with energy as people hurried along the sidewalks, each immersed in their own stories. That same afternoon, a routine traffic stop was unfolding on a street corner, but what happened next would soon transform an ordinary moment into a profound lesson on accountability and integrity. Officer Marcus Reed was handling the stop, a situation that initially seemed standard. Yet, as Chief Parker approached, she sensed an unsettling shift in the atmosphere. Positioned by a parked car was a young black woman, visibly anxious and unsure, while Reed's tone, laden with condescension, betrayed a sense of entitlement rather than genuine concern. Reed's eyes flitted between the nervous passenger and his radio, his focus more on asserting control than ensuring safety. The initial calm began to crack under the weight of his prejudice. As Chief Parker observed the scene with a keen awareness of her responsibility, she noted the subtle cues that indicated more than just a minor miscommunication. The young woman's discomfort was palpable. Her eyes darted around, searching for support in an environment that suddenly felt hostile. Reed's dismissive retorts and growing irritation were not in line with the professional standards expected on the job. Determined to uphold the values of justice and fairness, Chief Parker stepped forward. In a steady yet resolute tone, she introduced herself. "I'm Chief Amelia Parker. I'm here to ensure that everything remains safe and respectful." Reed's reaction was immediate and defensive. His voice rose as he attempted to reassert his authority, his words cutting through the murmurs of gathered bystanders. The situation escalated rapidly when, in a moment fueled by stubborn arrogance, Reed's frustration materialized physically, a sharp, unexpected slap against the young woman's face. In that fleeting, heart-stopping second, time seemed to slow. The quiet protest of the bustling street turned into a tableau of shock and disbelief. The slap was not simply an impulsive act, but a clear, unacceptable breach of the trust placed in him as an officer. Chief Parker's eyes narrowed with a mixture of shock and stern resolve. She saw not only the physical impact on the young woman, whose expression reflected a mix of pain and humiliation, but also the deeper systemic failure that this incident represented. "Did you just hit her?" she demanded, her voice a blend of authority and compassion. The words hung in the air, slicing through the tension as Reed faltered. His face flushed with anger and uncertainty. He stammered a reluctant admission that confirmed his misdeed. Without missing a beat, Chief Parker signaled for immediate backup, her calm command resonating with every bystander who had gathered to witness the unfolding event. The environment shifted from a scene of mundane law enforcement to a pivotal moment where every action was weighed against the promise of protection and justice. Her decision was not a simple enforcement of policy. It was a declaration that no one, regardless of rank or supposed authority, was exempt from accountability. The collective murmur of the crowd swelled into a powerful sense of support for the woman who had endured an undue display of aggression. As the backup units arrived, Officer Reed found himself isolated amidst a throng of voices demanding justice. In that critical moment, the weight of his past actions, the whispers of previous complaints, and a history marred by allegations of biased conduct converged to form an undeniable pattern of systemic failure. Chief Parker's intervention cast a bright light on these long-ignored issues, exposing the cracks in a system that had allowed unchecked power to run rampant. With each measured step and deliberate call for accountability, she was not merely addressing a single incident. She was challenging the very foundation of an ingrained culture that had forsaken the principles of fairness. In the midst of the chaos, as bystanders recorded the confrontation on their phones and voices of support mingled with the shock of witnessing misconduct, Chief Parker's focus remained unyielding. She approached the young woman, who was still trembling beside the car. With genuine concern, she knelt and offered a steady, empathetic hand. "Are you all right?" she gently inquired, ensuring that the victim understood that her dignity and well-being were paramount. The reassurance came not only through words but also through the unwavering commitment to justice that the chief embodied. It was a moment of profound humanity, a reminder that every person deserves to be treated with respect and compassion, regardless of the circumstances. The ensuing investigation would later reveal that this was not an isolated incident. Officer Reed's record was stained with multiple allegations of similar behavior, incidents of excessive force, derisive language, and biases that had been quietly swept under the rug for far too long. Chief Parker's decisive action on that day was the catalyst that sparked an internal reckoning within the department. High-ranking officials, previously shielded by a history of unchecked conduct, were now forced to confront the consequences of a culture that had tolerated injustice. The incident became more than just a singular act of misconduct. It stood as a powerful indictment of a system that had repeatedly failed those it was meant to protect. In the days that followed, as the evidence came to light and public outrage grew, the narrative of the traffic stop evolved into a broader call for reform. Chief Parker became a beacon of hope and renewal, her unwavering stance underscoring the fact that leadership is measured not by a badge or a title, but by one's willingness to stand up for what is right. Her actions led to a series of internal reviews, policy changes, and renewed training programs aimed at addressing the persistent issues of bias and discrimination in law enforcement. It was a reinvigoration of the department's commitment to fairness, a promise to every community that respect and justice would be the guiding principles moving forward. Throughout this unfolding drama, the city watched with bated breath. The once dismissed cries for accountability were now echoing loudly in public forums, community meetings, and social media platforms. Citizens who had long felt marginalized by a system steeped in indifference found new resolve in Chief Parker's determination. Her leadership transformed a painful incident into an opportunity for meaningful change, urging everyone to reevaluate the roles they play in supporting one another. With every testimony collected, with every procedural flaw uncovered, the case became emblematic of a much larger movement, a movement dedicated to dismantling structural injustice and rebuilding trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Chief Parker's steadfast dedication throughout the incident, her refusal to let an act of unprofessional conduct go unanswered, resonated deeply with all who heard her message. It was a poignant reminder that while the path toward reform is often fraught with resistance and obstacles, the courage to hold even one individual accountable can ignite a transformative dialogue. A dialogue that bridges differences and fosters a unified vision of a more just society. The unfolding narrative served as a powerful lesson, that integrity is not a static trait of a few but a collective responsibility, one that demands vigilance, empathy, and the courage to face uncomfortable truths head-on. In the aftermath of that fateful day, as the echoes of change reverberated through the streets and across our community, a new chapter began to unfold. The incident with Officer Reed became more than a scandal. It ignited a movement, a powerful call to action that reached deep into the heart of our city's institutions. In the days, weeks, and months that followed, the commitment to accountability and meaningful reform grew stronger. Chief Amelia Parker's decisive intervention was not just an isolated moment of justice. It was the spark that lit a fire for change and the catalyst for a comprehensive reevaluation of how power and responsibility should coexist. Communities that once felt abandoned and sidelined started to see their voices heard. Meetings, forums, and impassioned debates transformed public spaces into vibrant hubs of civic engagement. Every testimony, every shared experience, became a testament to the resilience of a people determined to see justice prevail and dignity restored for everyone. The reforms put in motion by Chief Parker and her dedicated team brought about tangible improvements. Renewed training programs aimed at eradicating bias, stricter oversight of misconduct, and a reinvigorated code of ethics that redefined what it meant to serve and protect. The painful lessons of the past were now steering us toward a future where every citizen could expect fairness, compassion, and respect. Even as the system struggled to adjust, every small victory contributed to a broader narrative of hope and renewal. The city's mood shifted, from one of passive acceptance to determined advocacy for a better tomorrow. The brave actions of one individual had ultimately laid the groundwork for systemic transformation. By holding those in power to account, Chief Parker demonstrated that the chain of change begins with a single, courageous act and blossoms into a community-wide commitment to justice. Her approach reminded us all that real power is measured not by authority or rank, but by the willingness to act when it counts most. Now, as we stand together at the threshold of lasting reform, your role in this story is more vital than ever. Each like, each share, and every comment on this video is a signal that you believe in a future where fairness triumphs over prejudice and where our collective voices can drive change. If this story has inspired you, if you feel compelled to support the journey toward justice and accountability, then join us on this mission. Let's spread this message as far and wide as we can. We're on a path to reach 10,000 subscribers on our channel, Acts of Kindness Stories, and your engagement is the fuel that keeps us moving forward. By subscribing and turning on notifications, you become a part of a community that refuses to settle for the status quo, a community that champions compassion, integrity, and the unyielding pursuit of a better future. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this movement. Your support empowers us to continue uncovering stories that not only shine a light on the challenges we face, but also celebrate the resilience and unity that drive positive change. So, if you believe in accountability, in justice, and in the power of a single act of kindness to transform a system, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Acts of Kindness Stories. Let's reach 10,000 subscribers together and keep this important conversation alive. Together we can create a legacy of change, where every act of courage inspires countless others to stand up for what's right, every voice is heard, and no injustice ever goes unchecked. Thank you for being a beacon of hope and for joining us on this journey toward a brighter, more equitable future.